Hello everyone, welcome back to Total Football Talk. So we're going to look at all the latest news coming out of Manchester United, and like a slight tackle from Roy Keane, there is plenty of crunching news coming in at the minute. We're going to look at what Ruben has said about Victor Gyokeres. We're going to look at what's happening with Marcus Rashford. Manchester United are interested in a new goalkeeper from Italian League, so we'll take a brief look at that. We'll look at how much Brentford are looking for Mbeumo, and a couple more little bits about how Harry Amas is prepared to fight for his space in the team, even though Diego Leon's coming in. We'll also look at what Jadon Sancho is doing after what happened with Chelsea yesterday, and the plan with Diego Leon. We'll also have a quick look at that. There's also some news breaking that Manchester United are looking to move on Joshua Zirkzee, which is interesting. I don't have a say that one, but that's your headlines. So we're going to dive into the news in just a second. If you're enjoying the content, please hit the old like button. Please hit the subscribe button. That would be absolutely brilliant. Get your comments in below. If you subscribe, you can be part of this tribe, and you can get your comments in below, and we can kind of talk about anything that I talk about here. But let's jump into the news, and we're going to look at Victor Gyokeres and Manchester United. And apparently, after the Europa League final, there was a meeting between Manchester United and the board, and Ruben Amorim, and he stated that he wanted certain players of the ilk of Mbeumo and Victor Gyokeres. They were his key signings moving forward, alongside Cunha, that I believe they kind of already knew at that stage they were getting. So that's how Manchester United wanted to move forward. That's how Ruben Amorim wanted to move forward. After losing Delap, they had to find a way of turning that news around, which they've done at the minute. We haven't signed Mbeumo, but he looks well on the way. Hopefully we don't mess that one up. And but yeah, so this is what was said about Victor Gyokeres. Amorim wanted a reunion with Victor Gyokeres from the start, but that is not an easy deal to reach an agreement with, because Arsenal are also strongly interested. And now we know that Arsenal are keen on Sesko, and we know that they're also interested in Gyökeres. So I believe that they're further down the line with Sesko. So maybe all the talk on Gyökeres at the minute has been slightly quiet. There was a little statement came out that Gyökeres was actually going to join a Premier League team. The came out today. So who is that Premier League team? Will that be Manchester United? Have Manchester United got the funds and the resources to make this happen? I don't believe right now we have, because if we have Cunha and we're going to get Mbeumo, if he does sign, then Gyökeres will come in. But I think he'll only come in if we can sell players. Now, those will have to come from potentially finding a way to get Jadon Sancho off the books. That's maybe a Saudi move for him, because I'm not entirely sure where else he can go, or potentially a move back to Dortmund. Then we will also have to find a way to earn some money from. We have to find some money from the kid from Benfica, Alvaro Fernandez, who is gonna looks like we get 20% of anything over a certain figure that he's sold to Real Madrid. So we'll be lucky to get between 5 and 10 million for him. So that'll be a little bit of extra money. We obviously made £8 million from the tour. So all these extra little bits of money will help fund players as we move forward. And maybe Gyökeres is one of these players, but I do believe we've got to sell probably a Garnacho. Rashford's got to get off the books. We've got to get a few other players off the books as well, some other big wages, before we can start looking at Gyökeres. But if Gyökeres is not signed for anyone yet, which I thought he would have done by this stage, maybe we still have an outside chance of getting him. And if you had Gyökeres up front and you had Bruno on one side and Cunha on the other, and Bruno playing in behind them, that could be quite an interesting forward line. Not going to say it's going to win us the league, but will definitely push us up the league, and I would be happy with that. But a long way to go. These aren't done deals yet, and yeah, that's where we are with that. So with the next bit of news, we're going to look at what's happening with Marcus Rashford and what he's saying. But are you going to say something?
Yeah. I'm happy because if we are going to sign those players, it will be better so we can get higher up the league and get more points to see if we could get any money from the league or from anything else, like the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup.
this is my son Conla, big Manchester United fan, and he just wanted to have his little moment on camera, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right, because his brother was on the other day, so he just wanted a little to have his say. So you've had your say now, haven't you? Okay. Right, do you want to go and see what your brother's up to?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Thanks, guys. But yeah. So Marcus Rashford. This is the latest news coming out on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford wants to play for Barcelona and is willing to take a pay cut and wait until the end of the transfer window to get the deal across the line. So Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. He's willing to take a pay cut. I mean, this all sounds great in theory. I don't, and he's prepared to wait to the final days of the window closing. I don't know if that works for Manchester United. Manchester United need to bring money in, and Marcus Rashford is pure profit. I have a funny feeling that there's talk of 40 million. I don't even think we're going to get 40 million for him. Even if we do get 40 million, 20 million goes on wages. So we only make a profit of 20 million roughly on Marcus Rashford. So anything less than 40 million, we're making even less than 20 million. And that just seems, for he is a good player. And there is an excellent, chance that whoever he goes on, he will do well. So he's definitely worth more than 40 million. But it looks like we, once again, in the transfer market, we're going to flop. We're going to make a mistake. We're going to do what we always do. And these expensive players that are on big wages are just unsellable for us at any reasonable price. We just can't bring in good money for them. But if he was to hold out and go to Barcelona, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy for him. It would be a great move for him. I think he'd find it difficult to get in that team in front of Yamal and Rafinha. But fair play to him if he wants to go there and he wants to kind of challenge himself. I think it's a great move for him. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens on that one. But yeah, so that's the news on Marcus Rashford. Now, breaking just a bit early this morning, where Manchester United are interested in signing Roma goalkeeper Mila Sevilla. Multiple teams across Europe are interested in him, and United are also interested in him, and they're looking to sell Onana to replace him with a new goalkeeper. Now, the goalkeeper news has kind of gone a little bit quiet in the last couple of weeks, and that is because Manchester United have been focusing more on the forward line. And we do need a goalkeeper. I didn't want De Gea to go. I was kind of excited what I seen from Onana, especially after the Champions League final against Manchester City a couple of seasons back. He looked like he was box office. He looked like he was going to bring a lot of strengths to Manchester United, especially playing out for the back. Unfortunately, he's lost his confidence. Unfortunately, he's inability to save shots, which drives me absolutely crazy. He's not quick enough off his line. He makes poor decisions. He does come for crosses sometimes, and he does clear his box. Not all the time, but sometimes. So he does have that in his locker. But playing out from the back hasn't really worked for him. Maybe he will say that he doesn't have the defenders that can play out from the back. So maybe there is a little bit of that. But I think a goalkeeper's got to be able to adapt. Goalkeeper's got to be able to make saves first and foremost. And unfortunately, Onana hasn't been able to do that for me. He's let in too many soft goals. He's caused us too many problems. Yes, he's had patches where he has played well, but unfortunately, those patches have not been sustained over any great length of time. And for me, that is not good enough for Manchester United. He's had 2 seasons now, and if he does get a third season, God forbid he does, but if he does, I don't really know what to expect. I expect what we had last season, patches of okay where he does all right, and then long patches where he makes mistake after mistake. B-Tech is on his way back. He was loaned out. He was through Manchester United youth ranks. Very, very good goalkeeper. He's only 21, and he's playing in the Austrian league at the minute. We loan out. He's already been alone at Accrington Stanley, so he's had a little bit of English kind of football league experience. Very, very good goalkeeper. We would bring him back a million. He's a very much better stop. And he's very, very young to be a Manchester United kind of goalkeeper, but I think there is potential in the kid. And if not, and if we do bring him back, maybe we sell him on and he would be pure profit because he's come through the academy. But yeah, that's where we are with the goalkeeper. But this kid from this goalkeeper from Roma, I don't really know too much about him. I know obviously Alisson had came from Roma and was an unbelievable signing for Liverpool, which is hard for me to say, but he's probably one of the best, if not the goalkeeper in the world. Maybe Donnarumma is at the minute, but Alisson is up there with him. Absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. And if this lad is from the same ilk, then brilliant. And if we're interested, great. But I've got a funny feeling this is just a story that we're being linked with another goalkeeper. That's what happens to Manchester United. We just get linked with one. But I've got a feeling there's probably not a lot in a minute. Okay, so Brian Mbeumo is the next story. Brentford apparently wants 60 million for Mbeumo. Would ideally paid in installments so they can accommodate many other signings this summer. And Bruno's desire to make the move to Old Trafford has backed his club into this corner. 60 million plus. I get why Brentford want that. They've looked at the Cunha deal, say, well, if Cunha's worth that, and Bruno's probably got slightly better numbers, so he's probably worth that. They're in around the same age. And Cunha had a release clause, and Bruno doesn't have a release clause. This is the reason why it's causing this. It's making it a little more problematic because Brentford can ask for a little bit. He's down to the last year of his contract, but I do believe there is an extension. They can add another year to his contract. There's like a +1. So they may activate that, and he'll be 2 years on his contract. So they will want to try and get 60 million. I think if Manchester United can get it in for around 55 million add-ons, maybe that's where we end up with this one. The other thing was apparently the wages went from 120 to 250,000 overnight. And yeah, I believe that is partly to do with the Northeast and their reporters also wanting to maybe getting a little bit frustrated that maybe Mbeumo has made a different choice of club that he wants to go to. But that's where we are with that one. Now, there was a little bit of news coming out. Hello, you're back again. Yeah. There was a little bit of noise coming around that Harry Almas wants to stay and fight for his place alongside Patrick Dorgu, which is, which is interesting because obviously Diego Leon's coming in too. Hello, I'm being flanked by two wingers right now. What do you want to say? What do you think? Do you think we're going to sign Victor Gyokeres? Do you think he's going to come in?
I think because Amarin knows a lot about him because he was obviously managing him at Sporting, and yeah, I think he will come. Also, I think there is a good chance that we could get him, and then if we did get him, it would be really good with a front three and then Bruno right behind them at central attacking midfield.
These boys know their stuff. So okay, we were talking and I didn't have that on. The Harry Almas looks like he's going to want to stay and fight for his position, which is good. We'll just flip into the last little bits. That is that Jadon Sancho is leaving Chelsea when his contract ends with the agreement could not be reached over personal terms, and the winger loan is coming to an end. So it looks like it wouldn't surprise me at this stage if Jadon Sancho is back on the tour, because I don't know if we can sell him before the tour actually starts. If the tour starts, I believe we're going to have to take him to make it look like we're all in the hat to help try and move him on, as we did under Ten Hag before he got his loan deal back to Dortmund. So I think we're going to have to look at this regard. And unfortunately, there might be a few other players. Rashford could be also on the tour. There might be another few players. Malacia could come back and he could also be on the tour. And we've got to try and get rid of all these players. And that's the reason why this particular transfer market is going to be difficult, because we have a lot of players still to try and move on while we're trying to bring a lot of players in. And as we know in the past, Manchester United have struggled to be able to do this. And this is the last one. Yeah, just hold on 1 second. So the last bit of news I had was Diego Leon is going to start in the youth side of Manchester United and build his way up into the first team. I think that's going to be the case. We're just going to integrate him slowly like we did with Heaven. I think he's going to be a first team player, but I think like Heaven, a little bit in the youth team just to find his feet initially, and then he will be brought in to the main team as we move throughout the season, and he will challenge Amas and he will also challenge Dogu on that left side. Kid looks talented, but he's very, very raw, so he's going to take a little bit of time to adjust, adapt and find his way into the Premier League. That's all your news for the minute. Have you boys anything to add?
I've got one more thing, and if we could keep JJ Gabriel for 2 years and hope he doesn't get sold, and that means it would be really good because as you probably already know, he started playing 2 years up and now he's played 4 years up, and then he's really good. So I hope we can keep on to him for when he does get into the first team. Dad, I've got one last thing.
Okay, quickly.
Everyone make sure to like and subscribe.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks everyone. If you're enjoying the content, please hit the old please hit the old like button, please hit the old subscribe button. We'll keep trying to bring you the news as we go along. Thanks very much for listening today, and we're going to call it there, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.